Okay, so I just want to walk you through a couple of things here. Hopefully it'll make some sense. And if it doesn't, please feel free to get in touch with me in any way that's convenient for you. I want to talk a little bit about the article brief assignments. And if you go to the Blackboard page, and these will only be available on Blackboard. If you go to the Blackboard page and you go under article brief assignments, you'll see a couple of things. The first thing you'll see is a practice brief. And if you click on that link, it'll take you to a practice brief, which I'll talk about just a little bit later in this video. If you click on sample brief, it'll give you a sample of exactly what I'm looking for in this assignment. And if you click on brief template, it gives you a template you can use, and you can use this verbatim of how to sort of organize this assignment. So as I walk you through the practice one, I'll kind of give you some sense of how this is going to work, but this gives you a real way of organizing your paper that I think will be easy to sort of give me what I'm looking for in this assignment. You don't have to use this, but I think it's a good way to approach it. So what I'm sort of doing in this practice brief to give you some sense of what I'm looking for is sort of giving you a brief and giving you a sense of what you're going to be looking at, in fact, when you look at the brief. So if you open this, what you see is this newspaper article on the risk and rewards of COVID-19 and federalism. So if you scroll down, you see a couple of things. And one is the article with all of the lines numbered, right? And then if you go down further, you're going to see a list of concepts and themes that have come from the reading specifically around this idea of federalism. So what I would like you to do is to sort of read through these definitions. Make sure you kind of understand what the definitions are, and then go back to the article, read the article, and sort of mark any place that you see a particular one of these concepts standing out. I'll give you a quick example. So if I go down and I'm reading through here and I see the concept of federalism. And federalism is a system of government where power is shared by the state and federal levels of government. So when I'm reading the article, I'm going to sort of read through here and I'm going to actually see the word federalism. So what I'm going to think about in that moment is that federalism clearly applies to this article because they're using the word, right? So how this relates to the assignment you're actually going to do is something like this. I'm going to say in my assignment, I see the concept federalism illustrated in this article. And then what I want you to do is define federalism. So you would say within the paper that you're writing, you would say federalism, you know, as our course material sort of illustrates is, sorry about that, is system of government or power shared by the state and federal governments. If you use this very specific definition, the only thing I would ask is that you do use quotation marks, okay? So you define federalism. And then what you're going to do is go back and you're going to say to your reader, this is an example of federalism because, and then you would say something like, let me find that again. Federalism as a system of government where there are two levels of government is illustrated here because this paragraph or these lines are about states having flexibility to match their own government to their communities. Then what I want you to do is, in a very brief discussion, you know, kind of illustrate that. This is an example of federalism because states are states have their authority, which is separate from the federal government. So what I want you to give me is the definition of the concept, and then apply the concept to the article. But don't just say, you know, federalism is illustrated in lines 18 through 20 or 21 through 24. Tell me why specifically. Think about this as you writing this assignment for someone who hasn't read any of this stuff before. How would you explain it? and details are important. And that's really where the sample comes in, or the template comes in. Let me just click on the template, right? The first concept I find in this article is federalism. The course material defines federalism as, the definition. The concept is illustrated in lines, 21 through 24 of the article, when the author talks about the different powers that state governments have in relation to the federal government. All I want you to do in this assignment is 2 concepts. So 2 concepts from that list of concepts I've already provided. And those are the only things I want you to focus on, just 2 of them, which means the paper will probably come in somewhere between, a page and a half and 2 pages. So hopefully that's clear. This, usually I like to do this in class where you could ask questions. But if you're willing, or if you want to do it, what I would suggest is to go back to the practice brief, read through, again, the definitions, read through the article, and sort of write down, probably typewritten, but write down, I think federalism is shown here in this paragraph or these lines because, and here's my reasons. And if you send that to me via email, I am happy to look it over and sort of give you some feedback so you know what you're doing, vis-a-vis the actual assignment. If you go back here to the article proof 1 assignment, that's the assignment, and I'll just show you quickly what that's going to look like. You're going to have another article with some instructions and with some concepts at the end, and then what I expect you to do is a little more detail writing it, right, saying, I see federalism, oh wow, it's right there, hint, in lines X through Y, and here's why. So explain that why. And then once you've done that, written, right, and very clear, well-written essay, again, short essay, then you would go back and you would click here, and that's where you would submit your assignment to me. So you would submit your assignment, online, and that allows me to grade them more quickly and get them back to you more quickly. So I hope that makes some sense. I hope that lets you know a little bit of what I'm looking for in this assignment. And I know this isn't as easy online as it would be in class. You can ask questions as I'm presenting this to you. So please, do the practice assignment. I'm not asking you to write a full essay. I'm just asking you to jot down what you think, and please get in touch with me and I'll help you in any way I can. So, all right.